This conference will now be recorded.
So we'll start now. Before starting, tell you something. Whatever we cover, we'll just revise it. Uh, and if you need anything help in that, so I'll continue this thing. Otherwise, we'll continue our topics. Okay. So we saw last time tokens. In that, we see a concept of operators and collection type. There are two types of data, primary. You can say secondary. Okay, and then we move to statement. In statements, we saw a concept called IO statement, conditional statement, and looping statement. These statement and range method. Like that we saw yesterday, and then we will focus on today. Uh, we already also see the concept called list comprehension and lambda, which is called anonymous function. Okay, today we will see called function. What is function first? Basics and then advanced, two things. So we will see about function, complete detail about function, and then types, category, and types of function. Okay, then we will go to advanced function. So these things we will try to focus today. Today we will focus on about function, how many things are there in that functions, and types and categories and other stuff with that function. Okay, so let's try for today's session. About function first. What do you mean by function? In your sense, can you tell me about function? What is function?
Function returns values.
Uh-huh. And function return value and
You can write multiple lines of codes and get the
under.
output.
Yes. So remember, why we need function, we need to know, then only we can utilize that function. Okay, so function is, simple definition is set of statement, comma tokens, comma expression. This is called function. A set of code, general word, set of code or instruction you can say, or to the computer, which will given in particular function. So there are two things. uh, Before going into two things, I'll just let you know why we need a function. Suppose you write a code, one program one, and in that we have program one.py, 1000 lines. Okay, in that 500 lines is repeating. So what you will do, this 500 lines which is repeating, instead of writing one side whole again and again, program 2 also using same line, program 2 here also 1500 lines. In that uh, lines and 500 lines repeating same lines, whatever we have in previous, same line repeating. This is the problem. So instead of writing same line again and again, what we will do, we'll write program 3 or any program name, and here I'll write 500 lines, which is repeating. Okay, and directly I will writing, instead of writing 500 lines here, I will directly call python 3.py file. I will call this thing. So this will reduce my 500 lines. So here total is suppose 1500 total lines of code, and here 2000 lines of code we need to write, right, before. But after function, how many lines we require here? We require only 1001 line. So how many lines reduces? 500 lines reduces, 499 line reduces. Here also same thing, it will reduce your 500 lines because of this call. If you write a call in one line, so remaining line reduces, so it will only take 1005 501 lines total it will consume. This is without function and this is with function. So this is the benefit. That means whatever you are repeating, the code, whatever it is repeating, you can keep in separate place and you can call as many times you like. So here also I can call, here also I can call any n number of times. So that is called function. So what is function? It is used to reduce the line, the repeated line. Remember, not all lines, repeated line. Only repeated line is important. Reduce the repeated lines of code. Okay. So this is the benefit of function. One thing, it is used to separate the code. If you want to make separations, so this will make it as a this type of programming is called modular programming. Modular programming, or you can say functional programming, because it is based on functions. All things is written in functions, so that is, this type of programming is called modular or functional programming. So that's why we need to remember what is function. A set of code. A code can be statement, tokens, or expressions. And what is the use of this? It is used to reduce the repeated code. Remember, whatever the repeated code we have, we can reduce by calling that function which is written somewhere else, or it can be written in same file or somewhere else file. So this is the main benefit of function. You should remember two things, two to three things: tokens, statements, and function. These are the fundamentals of any programming language. If you understand these three things, you understand complete almost on that language or script. So we should know about function in detail. So what is the function? Set of code is used to reduce the repeated line. It will not as any magic which will take and it will directly reduce the code. No, it will reduce only repeated line. Okay, and which is used to separate the module code, and that is this type of code is this type of if you are using function in your program, that type of program is called functional programming or modular programming. What is the benefit? It is easy to understand. If you separate this thing, so definitely you'll get easy to understand. Like example, you started amazon.com and there are thousands of products. If you separate it, it is easy to use for you, right? So same thing here. If you write your code in modular form, you can utilize it multiple times, or it is easy to understand. If it is easy to understand, then you can write fast development. Another benefit is what? If it is fast development, you can test easily. Testing goes easily. If it is going fast, easily testing, you can find error easily. So this is the benefit when you write a program in modular form. So if somebody asks you why you written this code in a function, so remember you need to tell like this. And this is called one standard form. Code writing technique. This is called standard code writing technique. Why? Because in industry or enterprise level, you should write a function. So there are two types of function. This is about function. Now come to the point, category, or you can say parts of functions. There are two parts of function, or you can say before that we will see types of function of functions. So in that we have two types, definitely like user defined function or predefined function. So we need to whatever we learn, we need to understand these concepts. So what is user defined function? In that we have two parts of function. In that we have two parts, calling, and second one is definition. Whereas in predefined function, the calling you need to do it, and definition is already available. No need to write definition here, already written. Remember, this is already written. Here you need to do all things to from your end. Okay. So here you need to write it function calling and function definition. Whereas here you need to write only calling. So you should know both technique, which is very, very important. So let me try with detail about this function, these things. So each function, whatever, either it is user defined or predefined, you should have two parts, calling and definition. You can, if you are using that function which is already written, you no need to write again and again. So let me go with in detail about calling and definition first. So what in by calling? Function calling is basically, number one, what is function calling and definition. Definition we'll talk about first. Definition. What about definition? Function definition. It all, remember the points is what, only one times you need to write. This is called function definition, and you need to use def keyword here. In this case, def keyword usage. Use def keyword. Okay, these points you need to remember. So this is the main thing. Example, I'll show you. Example is def and your function name, any function name here, which will not be reserved. Remember, it should not be a reserve. And then your argument. What in my argument? Argument which we need to pass the data in that thing. So it's like a variable here, and then after argument you need to write a colon. And in that block, if you want to go in that block, so you need to specify tab. Remember, tab is used to make indentation of your code, and it's very easy to understand. So here you can write statements, or you can write a tokens related stuff. You can write expressions here, anything, and then you can close it. That's it. So this is called function definition. Whereas same thing in function calling, how we can call calling function calling. Function calling is based on only the name of function. It not require any keywords. Function name, remember, and then argument. How many arguments you want. So this type of argument can be a variable or it can be a value. Whereas here you should write always variable. And here we will say return value. Return value, remember. Let me try with simple program, so it would be good for us. So let's try with simple program for this, and then we'll see. I'll go with simple Python program. So here I'll write, okay. So first of all, we need to define a function. So def keyword we require, then function name. My function name is f1. Anything you can write, but remember we cannot specify space here. You should use without space here. And then argument. Suppose I'm writing a colon enter, and then print value of a is and the value. That's it. Now f1 is ready. Now I want to call that f1, so I'm calling that f1. So this is called function calling. This is function definition. In that I can write multiple lines. You can see here I written only one line here, print statement, but you can write multiple lines. And then here we can specify argument. That argument can be a variable or it can be a direct value. Here in this case we written a direct value, constant value. So let me try with some variable x equal to or anything. Even you can take a also, f1, then passing x here, same output. So if I change here, I'll get result changed with value whatever we specified this argument. So this is function calling. Remember, this is function calling, and this is function definition. Function definition. So function definition is very important. We need to remember about that. Function definition start with def keyword, and the termination of that line is based on this colon operator we use. And then whatever you write, it should be in a block. This type of tab you need to specify. Okay, got it? Any concern, any doubt, any questions here in this case? So a few things we learn, guys. Any questions? Jagdish, Chaitanya, Ashok?
No, good.
Okay. Let me try with another values. Suppose we'll take one terminal. As I told you, we'll go with EC2 instance. There we will install all things, and then we will see practically. Okay. After this, we'll go with this EC2 instance. So before going to into that, what I required, what is my plan right now? I'll tell you. Or whatever code I want in function, I'll use writing this code into one another server. I'll take one server. Okay, I'll take one server, and that server contain all detail whatever I required. Means I'll install here Python. I'll install here Anaconda. What is Anaconda? It's one type of software which help us to give the help in library which we require, because all code is written in library, remember. So the code whatever you written, it is in library. So which type of operating system we will take, let me know about that. and based on that output or server will take, based on that we require IDE. So we'll take PyCharm here, IDE, and we need to integrate with our code. We'll write here code. That's it. So we'll see these things. Before that, going into detail, I'll take simple server, EC2 instance, AWS, and then we'll go in detail about that. Okay. If you have any question, meanwhile, you can ask me. I'll take Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the best.
So you are going to AWS and booting an Ubuntu server, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Whether they have or not, don't worry about that. I'll install it again, and if they have, we'll utilize it and we'll check. Okay. So I already prepare one server for you guys. So this is my Windows machine. So what I will do, I'll go with PuTTY, and in that PuTTY, I'll use, this is my PuTTY, and here I'll try to take this same data. Or else first we'll take a simple Python, then we'll go with IDE part, because Ubuntu is based on the IDE. So we'll take this simple Python first, then we'll go with Python IDE. So here is my profile. Guys, if you need some help in this, you can let me know, so I can go in detail about this also. So in this case, Ashok, can you tell me about your a little bit your profile? What is your profile? Means what are you doing in development side or operation side?
I am operations side, Mujahid. I'm an operations
Okay.
side. I work for, actually, my client is Citibank. We are mostly, our role will be like application support for Citi mobile applications and all. So we
Okay.
maintain UAT environments and all, actually. Me and Chaitanya works in the same team. So most of the time we used to work in Linux only. And we used to write few scripts depending on our day-to-day jobs and all. I am good in shell scripting and all, but coming to Python, I developed in past, but only what I did means I modified the existing Python files, but completely a new Python file I didn't create it and all, actually.
No issue. We'll see in detail about that.
Okay.
So first of all, we need to install this type of software. If you write here, you can check whether we have Python or not. So we can check with using Python command. And here you find this we not installed. We need to install that package, and you can install with the help of this method. Before going to into this detail, I'll just update my package repository sudo.
And even if you are having Windows mission also, right? If we install the Git Bash, from Git Bash itself, we can run all the Python scripts in a Linux mode, correct?
Right. We can install through Git Bash also in Windows machine. So we'll go tomorrow. I'll plan for tomorrow with Windows machine, and then I'll show you directly. Okay.
Okay.
Python 3 we will take, and then install that Python 3. Oh, minimal packages we require. Python hyphen. Yes. So I install my Python. Now I'll go with so I executed. Now here we can write a simple program mkdir or vccd space a1.py, and then here I'll specify my function definition abc, and then arguments m comma a colon enter, and here I'll specify print value of a and m. Some value we can display here a comma m. That's it. So you can specify multiple lines, or else you can directly exit the code. And here you can specify the code function calling. Same line function calling I can specify here. I'll write here welcome. In this welcome will store in m. Remember, message m it will store, and the value 12 is stored in a, the variable a. So I'll write like this, and then I'll go exit my program, and then I'll check this code python a1.py. So I'll get welcome. The value of a and m is value of a. What is the value of a? 12, and value of m. So this is the thing we need to remember. So this is a very simple program, guys. I took. So we can write simple program here also. Now we'll see, or else we'll see directly the Windows based concept. So which will be good for us also. So I'll try with Windows program here, Windows environment, which will help us to more detail about this concept. I'll take Windows environment. EC2 instance I will take here. T2 micro is sufficient for us. No need for going more in detail. If we install something, so that's why I'll take this much of data. Storage. Permissions, we don't worry about that permissions. This one. Windows. So here, before going into Windows, this thing we require, and also we need to connect this Windows. To connect this Windows, we can use PEM key.
MTSTC or something, right?
Sorry?
MTSTC or something, right? Normally we go to that particular IP.
1D.
MTSTC command will be there, right? To go to that Windows machine to connect to that.
MSTSC.
Yeah, sorry, MSTSC, yeah.
Yes, MSTSC, right. Here we will use MSTSC. So this is Microsoft remote desktop, and in that we need to write these values. We need to specify three things: your IP address. This is my IP address. Okay, public IP address, IPv4 will take, and then specify the other details like a username and password. By default, username is administrator. Okay, and I'll save it later. I don't want. And then we require password, and that password will come from this connect method. Here we need to, we need to go to get password, and then we will get the password. Directly also possible. Remember, this option says RDP. This option This will generate one shortcut for you. We no need to go with MSTSC. Directly double click on this file. When you download, it will directly open this MSTSC with complete detail whatever we have. Here we can install all details. This is also possible. Now this one require one connection, and that connection is based on this get password. So when you specify get password, you need to give the file dsc.pem file. Let me open that file. Temp aws keys dsc. This is my file. .pem file we require. .pem file. Decrypt password. So this is our password. We'll copy that. Now we'll try with this example. Here we require password. I have specified password, and now it's going to connect. I don't want to show again this thing. This is completely GUI based, so it is good for us. What we require here basically, we require softwares. First of all, we require Python. For Python, we usually go to the Python software, download Python for Windows, and which version we want, we'll go with this version 3.7. So here we have different versions. Yes, this we need. Copy link address, and then we'll paste here. This will create more problem to me, so that's why I'll never use this editor. It's correct. Don't show this thing. Sometime I forget. Save it later, we will see. Run this exe. Install now, or you can go with customization, custom location, and add this path to your path location. Okay, you can choose this thing. I'll do with the custom installation. I don't want TCLK ideally, or you can get this ideally, so you'll get one IDE also. So I'll not go in detail about this all location. I'll go with simple location instead of going in detail. So Python is installed now. Now going with this Python, we also required another concept called Anaconda. What is Anaconda, guys? Can you help me?
It's a Python alternative, I think. It will built-in packages in that. So we use Anaconda. When you install Anaconda, you can run the Python scripts.
Right. Dependencies, whatever we require, we can take with the help of this package manager. This is called one type of package manager. Instead of 10, we'll go with. So there are many things inside there. I'll go in detail and I'll show you. So there are one thing is what the platform we will get, and also we will get the dependency libraries, whatever we require, like NumPy, SciPy, whatever softwares we require, we'll directly get from here. So we will use this Mac OS Anaconda, not Mac, Windows. In Windows, we require this software. Copy link location, and then here we install. It's successfully installed. Before going in detail about that, we'll take simple program and then we will write here code Python and enter. So it should run and it will displaying me this is your Python. We're running code, and here we require Anaconda also. So Anaconda will provide all types of libraries and all package manager. There are different things. Package manager will help us to manage your packages, whatever you install with the help with your system. Okay, so this is one type of package manager. There are another package manager also available in Python. I will go in detail after this session. So in Python we have a package manager. Like in Ubuntu we have apt, right? Same thing, we have package manager, and another one is Anaconda is a package manager. One package manager is called pip. So these package manager we have in Python package manager, pip and Anaconda. So this is advanced, so that's why I installed this one, and it's very easy, you can get directly. So when you install Python, it will automatically get this pip installation. Otherwise, go with manual installation of pip. No issue for it.
So this particular package manager will have all the predefined functions or things which is required for the Python, right?
It will give you these all things whatever we require. Remember, this package manager is basically used to it is used to install all type of things. Like if you want to install Panda, for Pandas, this is one library, and based on this library, your code will depend on this library. Okay, so this Panda Anaconda will give you all detail about Panda. Means its dependency. NumPy is a dependency of ABC library is dependent on Panda. So this will install all packages. Then it will automatically install Pandas, and then it is ready to use your program. So
and also we can define our own library as well, right? That's what I heard in Python. We can create our own library as well, right?
Yes, this is very advanced topic, and definitely I will take this because it is interesting, and how we can define our own library, and how any other person they can use that library. You need to go like a Play Store, like that one centralized repository we need to solve, and based on that library, then only it is possible to. Okay, so let's start with installation. So after installing this, we will able to get the Python and Anaconda together. Let me show you. This is my Python here window, simple window. See here I am getting Python. Okay. Now after installing this, see here Python 3.7.2 and nothing more else. Very important. Okay. Now after installing this type of Anaconda, so it will change in your Anaconda Python, and it is after that you can easily update that Python Anaconda and all this stuff. I'll show you. That means it will integrate with this your system. So this require you to create one environment. In industry, they will not work like that. They will use environment. What is environment? Before going into installation, I'll tell you about environment. Environment is a set of dependencies and packages, whatever you require. You can say libraries, your libraries. Which library? Dependency libraries. Dependencies libraries, whatever we have, that library, based on that we can create our environment. And here we have our source code, we have our output file, and all dependent files like images or file, another .sh file or anything, any file which we required, it will come here. So environment, if you want to create environment, we use Anaconda as well. We can create environment with the help of any package manager, either pip or Anaconda. So this will help you to create environment. In that environment, complete thing will be there. So in our general term, you can say this is like a project. In project, many things are there, right? So in project, we have many things. So here also many things are there. Not only three, it also have many things in that. We will see this thing, how to create the environment, and later about this stuff. Okay. But remember, with the help of Anaconda or pip, we can create the environment. After completing this course about function, when I'll go to module and library packages related stuff, that time I will show you how to create an environment. Okay. So before installing, we'll try simple programs and check what we can do with this Python code. Whatever installed, the systems, whatever they installed. So see here, it is already installed with Amazon CLI as well. Even we not required, but it is installed already, because this is from Linux Ubuntu side. Sorry, EC2 side. So here we will try Python IDLE, or simple program we will write. This PC, C drive. This is your Python 3.7. Suppose I'll write simple program here. Now, what is the type of file here? Help me,
.py.
guys.
Py.
No, the type of file is how we have
Text
this
document.
thing. Text document. Yes, text type. That's why it's not changing here. You should remember the type we need to find out. It is not depend on us. We cannot go with this extension. We need to remember this type. Then only it is possible. So how we can go with this type? We can change this type by
Right click
save as
and
this.
then
Simple. I will tell you. Whatever you write a code, then go to save as, and same extension you will use. But this time you need to specify double quotation. so it would be good for you. So it will take strictly, it will take .py extension. So see here we have two files. One is python.txt or text file, text document. Another is Python file. Okay. Let me check. Now see here the extension. After this file, if you start, it will give you one IDLE. This is also one IDLE, and in that you can write a code for that, this program. So I'll open this IDLE, which is basically IDE from Python by basic Python IDE, and here you go to run and directly run module. So yes, because this is 3.7, so we need to specify brackets. Save it. Now run with shortcut F5. So this is the output directly. Welcome is our output. Okay. So this is one type of IDE here. This is very basic IDE which will generate the output, and this IDE comes with the help of that Python setup. So you can skip or you can use this IDE, and even though you can write here programs like interactive part, whatever we did in this terminal, Python terminal prompt, same thing we can do here. Okay. So this is one IDE we need to know, and then we will see how we can do with Python Anaconda, Python with Anaconda. So this will help us to install all Python softwares. See here the contents what we written here 3.7.2 and nothing more, nothing extra. These all are coded. Now based on this, if I install Python Anaconda, it will automatically install and it will give me other stuff also. Means it is integrated with my Python. This Anaconda should be integrated with my Python. And this all things stuff is based on this IDE also. So here we can install our own IDE. By default, Python have one IDE IDE. This is one type of IDE, integrated development environment. Or else you can go with another IDE, which is PyCharm. For PyCharm, you can go with two editions. You'll check in internet. Here you can go with PyCharm. This is JetBrains product. JetBrains products, they have other products also like IntelliJ, IDE, IDEA, and other stuff. So this is basically there are two types of PyCharm. We'll see education PyCharm, which is absolutely free, and a product of JetBrains. It's a product of JetBrains. Professional and community. Community is absolutely free, and this one professional is for trial version. You can choose it. Okay, all are same, only the difference is what they have some extra features in this professional which we not require because this is related to HTML and JavaScript and SQL. But what we require, whatever we can do with this Python professional edition, same thing we can do with the community edition also. So only they have some libraries, that libraries you need to include here manually. And if you install these two softwares like Anaconda and Python by default, so you no need to worry about this professional edition. So in this my case, I will take this software, community edition. I will take community edition, and while downloading, I will go with this link. Copy link. Mm. And Anaconda will take more time to install, basically. And PyCharm is little bit advanced version we have. So there are many things in that right now nowadays. So that once all things it will try to include in that Python community edition. These two things we need to take, and then you can take this extension or not. It is up to you. This two is optional. First, second isn't become dead. JetBrains, PyCharm. For understanding, I'll use PyCharm. Now we will open Python again here. Python. This Python we can get it here, and then this Python can be run from here. This directly as shortcut. So from here we can run this PyCharm. Let me try a simple program with this Python, which is today's program. We'll see. So what we have today, I'll write in some simple.txt first. Later I'll copy it, paste it here. Later we'll reboot. We'll take this program simple. So before going into detail about this Python, I'll just go detail about what is Python, PyCharm, IDE, and what we can do with this IDE, okay, or IDE. So let me try with same program. We'll write in normal notepad. It's very slow. So I'll do one thing. I'll try to increase the memory, and then I'll show you tomorrow about this how we can write this program. Before going into detail about this PyCharm, let me go in detail and I'll let you tell you what is IDE. IDE is basically integrated development environment. Integrated development environment, and that environment is basically is used to create the projects, and this will help us to create the environment or project in this Python. Okay, so first of all, Python IDE is PyCharm. In all IDE, usually we have a debugger which will help us to debug the file. We have editor which will help us to write a program with extension of what we can say auto code snippets are there available inside there, and many options are we have already. And also we have concept called related to translation. We have many features in that, like debugging and testing and other stuff also we have, and running that compiler. So these all features we have. Also we have collaboration concept. What in by collaboration concept? In that we can collaborate with Git. Like usually what we write, we code write in multiple person with multiple person. No, for single project we have multiple person, they will write a code, and each person they will maintain contribute in through any Git software which is called SVN. So version control system software. And we need to configure this Git environment, like through GitHub we can configure. And then we need to take repository management. Repository management is also possible here with the help of PyCharm. So this thing we will see tomorrow, and how we can utilize this IDE, and how we can write a code, how we can debug the code, and how we understand the step-by-step code from that. We'll try to understand this system. Okay, tomorrow we'll see about PyCharm. Any question, any doubt from today on whatever we saw today?
No,
Yes.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll see the PyCharm functionalities and also advanced topics of functions. This
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
See you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.